What's up, guys? Regiment in this podcast is brought to you by G Fuel, the ultimate energy drink for gamers. G Fuel uses a special blend of vitamins, antioxidants, and other natural caffeine resources to keep you from having those jitters or even that crash that you normally would have from other energy drink brands. So whether you're having a long gaming session or you're just having a long day and need a pick-me-up, G Fuel definitely has you covered. G Fuel also has a wide array of flavors to choose from. But if you don't know what flavor you want to try, they also sell variety packs on their website, and they even come with a cool shaker. So head on over to gfuel.com and use promo code REGIMENT at checkout to get up to 30% off. That is REGIMENT, promo code REGIMENT down here at checkout to get up to 30% off. Welcome back to another episode of the Smoke Pit Podcast. I am Brock, joined with Duck again.
Yeah, Doc's upset that Brock already has his fucking gamer fuel shaker cup.
Oh, yeah. So if you were paying any attention to Regiment news lately, you would know that our G Fuel Shaker Cup was officially revealed. The stream team guys and girls all got our shakers already. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen, the G Fuel shaker. I'm drinking my G Fuel. Are you drinking your G Fuel?
No, I'm having a non-sponsored Rip It.
Well, why'd you say the name? Now I gotta fucking beep you. But I'm drinking Miami Nights, the Miami Nights G Fuel. So if you've seen the sponsor plug for G Fuel in the beginning of this video, go on and head over to gfuel.com. Use promo code REGIMENT at your checkout. There's two different things that you can buy with this shaker. You can either get this shaker by itself, or you can get the variety pack that comes with it too. There's two different kinds. Variety pack.
I'm just drinking the blood of America's enemies that's dipped in freedom.
I mean, G Fuel will be the new drink for war soon. So, but honestly, I highly recommend, if you don't know what flavor you want to get, but you want to get the shaker, get the variety pack. It comes with 7 different flavors. You could try them all, and it comes with a random assortment of flavors, and you can definitely figure out which one you like from there. It's a good starter if you don't know what to get, so you don't have to spend money on a whole container that you might not like. And it gives you the chance to try several different flavors that you know you will like. I guarantee you'll find at least 2 or 3 of that entire assortment that you'll enjoy.
If Regiment gets a flavor, what do you think it's going to be called?
I don't know. I could probably brainstorm some ideas to come up with a G Fuel name for Regiment. We should. What would we call it?
I think Barracks Bunny would be a good one.
I like the Barracks Bunny, or we could call it Grog.
I think that's more, well,
everybody has Grog.
Yeah, no, not everyone calls it that though.
What else do they call it?
I don't remember.
Every anymore. Branch in the military that has a ball or a gathering has a grog. Everybody has a grog.
They don't all call it that though.
What does the Navy call it?
I'm literally blanking on it.
What does the Navy call it?
Seaman.
I was gonna say they call it Chief Seaman. Like, what do they call it? They call it the Admiral's bathwater. Marines call it fucking cran sauce. That would actually be a good one. Cran sauce for the Marines. But we call it grog. Like, Army called it grog. I know the Marines definitely call it grog.
I really don't.
Well, the fucking... in the comments section, what do you think that Regiment's G Fuel flavor, if we ever get one, should be called? I'm very interested to see what kind of names y'all come up with.
Motrin and water.
What?
Motrin and water.
Motrin and water? That one will not sell. I can tell you right now. That one will not sell. What does it taste? It tastes like crushed up Motrin. And it's like super bitter and gross.
It tastes like my career.
What could we call it? The green weenie? Call it green weenie.
That'd be a good one.
And it's like a lime drink of some kind.
They'd probably have to censor it and put like green meanie or something.
The green meanie. Yeah, something like that. Honestly, I think it would be interesting to have our own flavor. I know a lot of people are going to say they want something that's like freedom and related or something, but they already got Rocket Pops and all that like patriotic shit. We don't want to do patriotic. We want to do something that's meme worthy, you know?
Yeah, something funny. Something that's actually going to sell too.
Something that's going to sell, something catchy, something that'll sell. Come up with an idea, no matter how ridiculous they are.
I think the meme part of it will sell more.
that's why I'm saying that. Like the meme part of it would sell more. But I think how it's going to work with G Fuel is like they typically, when it comes to their brands, they see how well the shakers do for them, for a brand, and then they will let you have your own flavor after that. I think
Which
that's
means
how it works.
buy a fucking shaker.
I'm curious to see how many shakers that we've sold already. I'm
I
sure
bought
there's a way to
3.
figure that out.
I bought 3 because I need one for
You bought
protein
3?
pre-workout. Hey, all right. I need one for protein pre-workout, one for G Fuel, and one for water.
I use my shakers for pre-workout and G Fuel and pro. I use the same one for all.
I can taste it like permeates into the plastic, and I don't like it.
Do you not rinse it after you're done?
Yes, but no matter what, like that all plastic absorbs flavor. And especially when I drink water, I can fucking taste it.
Listen, I've cleaned and still drank out of shakers that I've left in my car.
Hey, that's disgusting. You're a fucking animal.
I know I'm an animal. Hey,
Dude,
shakers ain't cheap, bro.
You ever found a water or a protein shake bottle like left in a gym bag that you like threw in your closet and you hadn't used for a while and you forgot to wash the cup?
Some of them are beyond saving.
Find that gym bag.
Some of them are beyond saving.
Oh man, it smells so horrendous.
Typically the ones that if it's got protein in it and it's been sitting in there for a long time, I won't reuse it. But if it's just pre-workout, I'll definitely wash it and reuse it.
It's so bad. And I thought the first time that ever happened, I tried washing it. Nothing's getting that flavor out.
Nothing gets the smell out of it. Nothing like the smell like is the flavor too. So whenever you have a protein shaker that you forgot to wash and then you find it months later and you're like, this is trash, I'm never touching that again.
It smells like the strip club outside of every military base.
Fucking Fayetteville.
Or Jacksonville.
But we got some regiment news to talk about. The shaker was one of them, but you already saw that, so we don't really need to fucking talk about that one anymore.
And now you can see it in person by fucking buying.
I mean, here. Oh shit! I forgot to change the.
Use code regiment if you want some money off.
Yeah, use promo code regiment, get yourself a bit of a discount on that. I highly recommend doing it. I highly recommend getting one. You can never have too many shakers, honestly. And this shaker, you can get a discount.
I like shaking.
Me. Let's see.
Just don't shake it, baby.
All right, so here is the regiment shaker. Here's a better view of it, honestly. So, highly recommend you go get this. This thing is great. Excuse me.
You're not excused.
So, other regiment news to talk about. So, the regiment 3-year anniversary is this Saturday. So this Saturday, we're going to be hosting Regiment's 3-year anniversary, celebrating at Ava Flower Mound near Fort Worth, Tejas. So it's an amazing and free opportunity to meet the regiment crew. So if you're in the Texas area, Texas, if you're down in that area, head on over. It's at Saturday, May 6th from 12 to 2 p.m. Central Time, because Texas is on 2 time zones, apparently.
Texas, that's how big it is.
I know, it's a massive state. But yes, head on over to Texas if you're in the area, or if you want to come and meet it, go for it. So it's a VR esports arena, which I find fascinating. Because we talked a lot about the, it kind of is VR esports for the Olympic stuff.
Yeah.
But
if y'all didn't know, we were on another podcast.
Yes, we were on another podcast last week. Was it last week or week before?
Week before.
I got to go find that episode. I'm curious to see how much they censored. Knowing us, it was the most fun episode that they said they had. So, if we're in, what's that? Warrior Gamer Foundation.
That's right.
Gamer GMR. So, other regiment news. We so in June. So there's a $5,000 Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 LAN sponsored by the American Legion at Post 172 in Osseo, Maple Grove, Minnesota. So on June 10th, Osseo, Minnesota, $5,000 donated to Stack Up in honor of the winning team. The first ever LAN hosted by the American Legion. And I highly recommend, because this is all about our gaming initiative. Our gaming initiative for the American Legion is a very important thing, because this is about bridging the gap between old generation of vets and the new generation of vets. and, you know, kind of giving these vets another outlet at these Legion posts besides a bar. Because everybody knows that the American Legion Post and the VFW is notoriously known for being a bar where old heads come around and trade war stories. But, you know, the stigma of that's kind of being swayed away because the newer generation is avoiding the bar scene. But this will give our generation more of incentive to join the American Legion and to actually, you know, have a gaming lounge. That's the plan for all the Legion posts is to have a gaming lounge in every single one of them. So
that's not just a closet.
That's not just a closet. But yeah, if you're in Minnesota or anywhere around that, head on over to the Post 172 to be at the first ever American Legion land tournament. This is gonna be awesome. Pretty excited about that.
It's pretty crazy to think. I'm just looking at Discord, and when I joined, I've been in regiment almost the entire time it's been around.
Pretty close for me too. November 2020 is when I joined.
And I've been a mod since September that year.
I've only been a mod for a year and a half.
I remember going back to get our dates and sending it to whoever we were sending it to. And I was looking in the staff chat, and I was like, I've been a mod longer than this. I predate the staff chat.
Do you really predate the staff chat?
Yeah, because I had to go back through personal messages back when we only had that many staff and mods, where we were in DMs and we would talk to each other, and we had groups in there. And I had to go back to when the first time that I was brought on as one of the people that does the onboard briefings back then.
It's kind of wild seeing like where regiment is now versus where it was when I joined.
Oh, bro, it's fucking crazy.
It's very weird to me because I remember when it was just mods. And now we have like a whole slew of staff, like community managers, and everything's got a massive chain of command now. It's like, man, we're this is like grown way beyond what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be like, you know, kind of like a good old boys club, and then it grew.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be as big or bigger than, like, you know, some of the other gaming orgs.
I mean,
that are out there that have been around.
Some of the other orgs I fully expected us to outgrow, and
I really didn't.
One
just because they've been around for so long.
That too, yeah. What was it that caused us to boom like that? I remember we had TikTok. A massive surge of
TikTok.
Was it TikTok?
When TikTok was like the first kind of transforming into what it was becoming, and it was initially viral for a lot of people, but it wasn't like super saturated. TikTok was huge for us. And whoever was doing it at the time was really good at doing videos.
I think it's the same guy.
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
Because the quality is not the same. The virality is not the same.
No, well, I mean, TikTok's virality has been weird.
We kind of rehash a lot of our videos, though.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to.
True. We can only show so much. And also, you know, without getting people in trouble.
And, yeah. And,
some fucking degenerates and shit.
Oakley's he's not our official photographer, but he does like to take photos of the events that we have. Oakley, get your shit out there, dude. We want to see your pictures.
Yeah, give us some fucking stories too.
Give us some, and everybody, give us some of your stories. We want some of your stories. Put it in the you know, DM us on Twitter. Put it in the comment section. We want to see some of your stories. Tell us some stuff. We want to share them. We won't tell, you know, we won't, obviously, if you don't want us to share your information, we won't. But, you know, we want funny things. We only have so many of our funny stories to tell. We want some of your funny stories to tell. Tell us. But
yeah,
speaking of
I've
funny,
already told about my stories before.
But
most of them are host stories.
Your host stories, man. Regiment in this podcast is also partnered with BR Paradox. BR Paradox is a company that specializes in custom-built PCs. So if you have an idea for a cool custom-built PC, they can definitely give you the hookup on that. But if you're not in the market for custom PCs, BR Paradox has a wide array of pre-built PCs that you could choose from at great prices. And if you're not in the market right now for a new PC, BR Paradox will definitely hook you up with an optimization. Optimizations take around 10-15 minutes to do, and they're very awesome. I highly recommend them. I had my PC optimized by them, and it's never run smoother since. BR Paradox also has a list of renowned customers ranging from LeBron James, Chris Brown, members of FaZe Clan, and even Angela White from your favorite orange and black site, if you know what I mean. So head on over to brparadox.com to get yourself a PC today or an optimization. And remember to use promo code Regiment at checkout. That's promo code Regiment down here at checkout. Speaking of funny and interesting stories, the Red Cross thinks that playing video games, we commit war crimes. I remember this being like just unhinged people saying that like you're committing a war crime. I remember when Modern Warfare came out in 2019 and people were like accusing using white phosphorus as being considered a war crime in the game because you use white phosphorus as a kill streak, and they're saying you're committing a war crime, and like it's a video game. Shut the fuck up. But
tell them shut the fuck up, pussy. 1v1 me.
So the Red Cross, check this shit out. So the Red Cross wants gamers to stop committing virtual war crimes. Arma 3 and Fortnite are taking part of the initiative.
Fortnite. I expected not much better of you.
Hang on,
better.
Does this mean they're accusing players of Arma 3 and Fortnite, or Arma 3 and Fortnite are like agreeing with this?
I think it's that one.
So the International Committee of the Red Cross has announced a play-by-the-rules initiative, which will task fans of first-person shooter games with respecting real-world rules of war while they play. Shut the fuck up.
I know what it was. Fortnite is because of Fortnite Creative, and that's where they did it.
It's only a war crime the first time. After the first time, I mean. So play by the rules will aim to raise awareness of the rules of war, laws that aim to maintain humanity in armed conflicts by regulating what participants can and cannot do in warfare, because that game will be fun. As part of the initiative,
I've seen a little bit of a clip of it, and it basically like they have civilians and shit that you can't shoot. You basically have to get rules of engagement. You have to get fucking PID. It's so stupid. Play a milsim. That's all. Like, play a milsim.
As part of the initiative, the Red Cross has issued a number of guidelines for players looking to follow these rules while playing FPS games. I can't wait to read them. As detailed on this website, is this Tarkov? That's Tarkov.
Yeah, it is.
As detailed on this website, law-abiding players will need to avoid shooting at enemies who are down and can't respond. Stop targeting non-violent NPCs in civilian buildings and share their med kits with allies and enemies alike. You're out of your fucking mind if you think anyone's going to want to do this. A number of participating shooters have been confirmed for play by the rules, including Fortnite and the military simulator Arma 3. You're kidding me. The latter has a history of promoting Red Cross. Back in 2017, Arma 3 raised money for the organization with its Laws of War downloadable content, which told its story through the eyes of a humanitarian faction. Thanks, Arma, for being shit. We're working to create a shift in the way players want to experience first-person shooter games. You mean make them boring? You mean make them less fun to play? You mean giving your enemies... You're not
creating a shift at all.
You're making it worse because I have to help the enemy that I shot. I downed him. I can't finish him. I have to help. What is this ad? What the fuck just happened?
I don't have any ads. That's like when games will infamously, Call of Duty, for example, will quote unquote try to implement things to counteract camping, and it just creates more camping.
Yeah, it does. I got a massive ad in the middle of the paragraph.
So you're creating, quote unquote, creating a shift. You're just creating a shittier game.
So we're working to create a shift. Okay, so we're working to create a shift in the way players want to experience first-person shooter games. Shared Christian Roffer, the head of project for Arma 3 at the ICRC. We want them to learn.
Start reading that really slowly
because the fucking ad was in the way. We want to learn something about the importance of real-life meaning of the Geneva Convention without spoiling the fun of the game. Geneva Conventions will spoil the fun of the game. In addition to participating games, content creators recently streamed the game likes of Tarkov, Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, Rainbow Six Siege, all while following the rules of war. You can catch up on the streams here. Earlier in the year, a developer of Among Us revealed that it accidentally broke the UK's Geneva Conventions Act while the multiplayer game was at the height of its popularity. How?
Geneva Conventions.
How? How
Geneva
does Among
Conventions
Us
ruin regular war?
Yeah. I mean, think about it like this. The rules of engagement got so many fucking people killed or injured in Afghanistan because you couldn't shoot. Some dude would be shooting at you, and you would take casualties, and because they would throw their AK down and start fucking hoeing their farm, you couldn't do anything to them. You had to just let them go. Fuck that. Fuck the Geneva Convention.
I don't say fuck all of the Geneva Conventions. I will say fuck the rules of engagement that we started to develop into.
I want to see this real quick. Among Us broke the Geneva Convention with a silly whoopsies. How does Among Us do this? So, U.S. developer Innersloth has revealed that the hit social deduction game once violated the Geneva Convention Act. I clicked on the actual link about the Among Us thing.
Okay.
In a tweet posted yesterday, which is this is back in February, Innersloth revealed that it had mistakenly broken the UK's Geneva Convention Act of 1957, which makes the use of Red Cross symbol illegal in many cases.
Wow.
Fun fact, after the game got big in 2020, we had to change the color of the med bay cross because we apparently violated Geneva Conventions Act by making it red.
That's crazy. I get it though. Like it's one of those things where it's stupid, but you're like, I get it.
No, you know what it is? The Red Cross is a bunch of soft fucks. That's what they are.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but like I see what they're saying though. It's almost like I mean, honestly, if they have that image copyrighted, they can.
What, the Red Cross? Switzerland has a Red Cross for a fucking flag.
It's not the same though. It's not the whole flag.
So after the game got big in 2020, we had to change the color of the medbay cross because I already read that. War criminal crewmates, the studio later joked, describing the mistake as a silly whoopsies. In the replies, No More Robots founder Mike Rose revealed that he had faced a similar issue with the legislation, which establishes the international legal standards for humanitarian treatment in war. Amazingly, we failed console cert on 3 different games of the exact thing. Listen, this is fucking weird.
Did you ever see that Vet TV clip where it was an early clip, like before they were really what they are now? There's some Taliban dude that was shot, and Doc was like, "Oh, I think he's gonna make it," and the lieutenant's like, "Doc, stop! He's not gonna make it." No, we can get him back. He's gonna make it. No, and he lifts up the shirt, and I think it was like some politician, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, no, you're right. He's not gonna make it."
No, I didn't see that one. But the fact that people think that what you're doing in a video game translates to an actual war crime is delusional.
It's almost like there's been thousands upon thousands of articles that have proved this wrong.
It's like you're not really committing a war crime because people aren't actually affected by this. So what is the argument here? Huh?
The spoons make me fat too, so
I guess it's stupid. Like, no, if you want to play a mill sim where you follow rules of engagement, that's fine. But if you're going to make it a standard where it's like, this is technically a war crime and you can't do it, what?
The one that you played, the police one.
Oh, Ready or Not? Yeah,
that one. You literally have to play by the rules and that shit.
Technically, you don't. I mean, you won't get a good score if you don't, but the mission will continue if you don't.
You'll get punished for it, though.
You only lose points. That's the punishment.
That's a punishment, though.
It's a punishment, but it's not like a harsh punishment.
You can only use so much.
I can't tell you how many people I shot that weren't supposed to be shot. Or like the enemy will be down. But the thing is with certain games like Ready or Not, the down suspect can get back up and shoot you. So
if they're not dead,
if they're not dead, sometimes they'll fake dead.
It's not a zombie game. What am I talking about?
They'll fake their death, and then they'll pick their weapon up and come after you again. So you have to apprehend them or just finish them off. Like typically, I damn near mag dump them until they go to the ground, and then I report they're dead. And then even still, I'll arrest them. I'll zip tie them so that they can't get back up. But
double tap. I thought you were gonna say you shot him. You were gonna shoot him again.
I sometimes do. And then they'll fake surrender. That's the other thing. They fake surrender, and when you go up there to arrest them, they pull a knife out and kill you. But yeah. No, you're not committing war crimes by doing things in these video games. I don't care what anybody says. They're not real. They're video games.
Committing virtual war crimes.
Virtual or not, even if it's even worse, virtual war crimes are not actual war crimes because no real person is being affected by it. So there's no criminal act at all.
If this were the case, they should really go after GTA. and the role play community, because those guys,
You might as well, yeah. I mean, they're killing hookers and taking their money.
exactly.
So it's like
they're drug dealers on the side.
You
like,
might as
that's
well
their gaming business.
You might as well say that people playing GTA are committing murder because they're killing hookers and taking their money.
Essentially, yeah.
And then you want to really charge them. So Ninja, Timthetatman, and other top streamers are making their own battle royale game.
So it's Ninja.
It looks
Nick
like
Mercs,
I was gonna say
Timthetatman, Cypher, PK, and Courage.
Because this looks like Fortnite.
It's within Fortnite Creative.
Oh, so they're
because you can create an entire game that's not Fortnite and doesn't even play like Fortnite within Fortnite.
So the popular Twitch and YouTube gaming personalities Ninja, Timthetatman, Cypher, PK, Courage, and Nick Mercs are developing a new battle royale game called Project V. Announced today, which was 4 days ago. Announced today, the new battle royale is set to release next year, and I hate to say it, but that's gonna not do well. I
think it might.
I only say that because battle royale is such a dying mode. It really is. It's so saturated. You know, the market for battle royales are so saturated that people don't want battle royales in everything. You know, that's why a lot of games that have a battle royale flop. Battlefield 2042, Battlefield 5.
That was an extraction, sir.
There was a battle royale. They were talking about doing a battle royale.
5. That's because they rushed it and they were trying to compete with Call of Duty.
So Ninja and Timthetatman are most prominent names attached to the project. Ninja is the most followed channel on Twitch with around 18.5 million followers. Timthetatman is the 17th largest with approximately 7 million.
Nobody cares about Tim's Twitch.
Huh?
He's on YouTube.
I know. They didn't say YouTube. It didn't say Twitch either. So Cypher is only a little behind with 6.4 million followers, putting him in the same league as the streamers like Amaranth. Finally, Courage, Dunlop, and Nick Mercs aren't nearly as large as the other three, but still enjoy a respectable following.
Are they kidding me right now?
I like how this says the 5 Twitch streamers announced Project V because a couple of them are definitely not Twitch streamers anymore. So anyway, they announced Project V today over the game's new Twitter account, and it's being developed by Cypher PK's Superjoy Studios using the Unreal Editor for Fortnite, which launched in March. According to the developer's website, this release inspired Twitch streamers to create Project V. The game will offer a complete map, custom weapons, and unique mechanics. However, the studio wasn't ready to talk specifics. Apart from that, information is limited to a promotional image showing the visual style of Project V's player characters. Right here. So Cypher is the only one with experience in the development side of the industry, and Superjoy's output has so far been limited to making custom Fortnite maps. The studio is also relatively small, consisting of Cypher and his wife, who is a manager. No, Cypher and his wife, a manager, and 3 devs. Still, the studio's website points out all 5 streamers are incredibly familiar with the Battle Royale games. We know. This is fair enough, as Ninja, Cypher are famous primarily because of their popular Fortnite live streams. However, it's unclear how well that experience playing Fortnite will translate to designing a game like it. Just because you're familiar with a game and playing a game and you're good at it does not mean you're good at making them. I will say that.
They're not really making it. They're more like
pitching ideas.
Essentially, yeah.
Still, the 5 Twitch streamers, there's Tim's not a Twitch streamer. I don't know why I keep saying this.
Have disrespect.
Have a lot of resources at their disposal. Ninja reportedly has a net worth of around 40 million, while the other streamers don't come close to that level of wealth. They all have plenty of money to throw around. They probably won't have trouble finding outside investors if they decide that they need them. The point is that creators involved likely have the money to organize a serious game development project. The Twitch streamers are also turning to their massive communities to help develop Project V. So this is going to be a crowdfunded game, probably. So Project V launches in 2024.
But it's crazy, though, because I think I was mentioning to you when they first announced it. The stuff that you can do, the stuff that you could do in Fortnite Creative before the new update was still pretty amazing.
I know. I've been seeing a lot of footage of it, and I'm like, this is fucking Fortnite? Really?
Exactly. Like, you can, everything that you can, or anything that you can do in there. I've seen a few games that, like, Tim has played, and it doesn't even. You're like, this is in Fortnite. The graphics don't look like Fortnite.
Because it's on the Unreal 5.
Yeah,
That's why.
But like because you can make it look like Fortnite if you want. But it's insane. You can make it a first-person game. You can literally develop within Fortnite.
People were making
honestly,
Call
if
of
you think
Duty
about it,
Call of Duty game
fucking-
modes within it.
They are. They're already doing it. And then they've already created a couple of maps like it too.
I can't wait till they do a Nintendo one, and then Nintendo comes in and sues them for it, which I'm
That
sure
would be
will.
interesting. I can honestly see something like that happening too.
100%, dude. 100%. Nintendo loves to sue everybody for everything. Oh, you're using Mario in a game that isn't
All they have
us?
to do is just not call it Mario.
Yeah, they'll call it something else, but the likeness of Mario and shit is enough that Nintendo will sue. I guarantee it.
It's not.
No, I guarantee it. It's Nintendo, dude. They sue like it's going out of style.
Fortnite goes to fucking court with bananas and porn. Banana and Fortnite porn, okay? Against Apple.
That was old news though.
You don't fuck with them.
So this is a little bit of a somber topic here, but it's one that happened, and it's one that I've been saying this for a while, that the Army needs to do something about their aircraft, because in the last, since 2017, so like in the last 5 years, there have been at least 2 aviation crashes that resulted in fatalities every year since like 2017.
That's it.
Or no, 5. I think it's 5. Let's see.
Are we talking about just the Army? Because I know the Marines crash a lot of fucking Ospreys.
Let's see. How many?
That's not the Osprey's fault, because the Osprey's a piece of shit.
Let me look.
But
as much as 90% of the NVG accidents occurred during tactical terrain flight, low ambient light. So this is Army. 90% of their aviation crashes happen at night.
What? When there's no light? It's crazy.
I saw a statistic that said at least 5 aviation accidents have happened, resulting in deaths with the Army since 2017. Every year. So 5 accidents per year resulting in fatalities with aircraft. And the biggest factor is the Black Hawk. The Blackhawks, there was a few years where Blackhawks were literally just falling out of the sky. And it was
Black
like
Hawks falling out of the sky?
Black Hawks falling out of the sky.
Okay.
Recently, this involved Apaches, though. And this came not even a month after there was a crash in Kentucky. Oh, Alaska and Kentucky. Let's look. So U.S. Army grounds all aviation units for training after fatal helicopter crashes. Suspension comes after 12 soldiers died within a month in 2 crashes in Alaska and Kentucky. So U.S. Army has grounded aviation units for training after 12 soldiers died in helicopter crashes in Alaska and Kentucky in the last month. The suspension was effective immediately, with units being grounded until they complete the training. Of course, it's training. They're not going to do any inspection. The Army spokesperson, Lieutenant Colonel Terrence Kelly, said, training for active duty units is to take place between 1st and the 5th of May. National Guard and Reserve units will have until 31st of May to complete theirs. So they're grounding the aircraft and only giving them, like, having them train for a few days? That definitely sounds like the fucking military if I ever heard it.
Yeah, that's probably not even.
We have a mass problem with our aircraft. Let's do some extra training for a few days and then send them back in the air. Fuck all the safety checks and everything.
It's probably online training and or notional training.
So the move grounds all Army aviators except those participating in critical missions until they complete with the required training. 2 Army helicopters collided near Healy in Alaska on Thursday, killing 3 soldiers and injuring a 4th. The aircraft in the 1st Attack Battalion, 25th Aviation Regiment at Fort Wainwright were returning from a training at the time of the crash, according to the Army. The unit is part of the 11th Airborne Division, which is nicknamed Arctic Angels. So these are Apaches. Military investigators from Fort Novosel in Alabama were expected to arrive at the scene of the crash by Saturday, said John Pinnell, spokesperson for the U.S. Army in Alaska. The Army said on Thursday that 2 of the soldiers had died on site and the 3rd on the way to the hospital in Fairbanks. The injured soldier was taken to the hospital and is in stable condition on Friday. Pennell said. The names of those killed were not immediately released. They just released them, I think, today. The safety of our aviators is our top priority, and this stand down is an important step to make certain we are doing everything possible to prevent accidents and protect our personnel. So what they're doing is they're saying it's pilot error. Honestly, this is what it sounds like. They're looking at it as pilot error because the last 2 crashes were results of aircraft colliding, but the majority of the crashes are due to equipment failure, and it's always the Black Hawk. Like those things have been crashing nonstop several times a year since 2017.
And well before then, though.
Well before then, but even more so now that we're not out of an operational environment. But these aircraft keep going down, and everyone's wondering, like, is it because the Black Hawk is old now? Like it's so old.
I think it's a combination of a lot of things, because if you know junior enlisted, like I know junior enlisted, when you're doing work, when they're doing work or inspections or repairing, you may not get the best of work out of them, right?
So,
and gun decking or the falsifying of things is quite high.
Well, yeah, because a lot of these we call them PMCSing. I don't know what they call it in the Navy, but these preventative.
I don't think in the Navy we have anything, but
it's called preventative maintenance checks. PMCSing. So the PMCS was the same thing. So the pre-maintenance checks that they're supposed to be doing, a lot, and I've seen this firsthand, of a lot of vehicles being deadlined because of serious issues, but because they need the equipment for training, they still roll them out. A deadline vehicle, like, hey, this vehicle's deadline because this has this issue and it's not exactly, usable in an operational environment. We can't bring it. And they fudge the fucking paperwork to get it passed so that they'll put it out. I've seen it done. Everybody in the military has seen this shit happen.
What? Nuh-uh.
Where safety gets, like, the safety and the maintenance, they cut corners on areas just to get that shit operational and thrown out in the field.
Well, not in the military.
No, they would never do such a thing. So the crash is the second involving military helicopters in Alaska this year. 2 soldiers were injured in this year. We're only 5 months in. 2 soldiers were injured when an Apache rolled after takeoff from Talkeetna in February. The aircraft was one of 4 traveling from Fort Wainwright to Joint Base Elmendorf, Richardson, and Anchorage.
I don't think a helicopter is supposed to roll.
It's not. In March, 9 soldiers were killed when 2 Army Black Hawk medical evacuation helicopters crashed during routine night training exercise about 30 miles northeast of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. The Army said both deadly crashes were under investigation, but there is no indication of any pattern between the 2 mishaps.
You know what I always think about, though? Whenever you hear about this shit, and it's always a training accident, right? Well, you think about all the sometimes it's usually a movie that most people will reference, but you can have reality to where, if you're part of the situation, something actually happened, but the news, they're like, it's a training accident. Tell them it was a training accident.
Well, honestly, a lot of this shit, because it happened during training, and that's why it's classified as a training accident. So you see them all the time. Statistically, more troops die in training than in combat.
Yeah.
The casualty rate is higher for training than it is in combat. And
train like we fight, or sometimes harder than we fight, I guess. But like every time I went on a training rotation when I was overseas, people would die. Like, and it often wasn't us. It was mostly like the Romanians, but that's neither here nor there. But every time that we went off for training on some big exercise, at least one person dies. It happens every single time. So it's like, and then you see all these aircraft crashing during training. You can't help but wonder why. Could it be pilot error? Sure. In these last couple of cases, I'm pretty sure it might have been, especially because both of these accidents happened at night. But for the most part, it seems like a lot of these Black Hawk helicopters are just malfunctioning to the point where it's like a catastrophic malfunction due to a maintenance error. And everyone's been saying it for the last few years, like, we need to ground these birds and see what the fuck is wrong with them, because
birds falling out of the sky isn't supposed to happen.
It's the same with like trucks and shit. They're just already on the ground.
Yeah, like that's the thing where, yeah, we're like when it comes to our Humvees and shit, they're on the ground. So it's not like if anything goes wrong, it's going to break down or something stupid. And it's just going to be a fucking massive inconvenience and annoyance when it happens. But
most of the time,
yeah. Like, but it's never, usually if it's like a rollover or something, that's definitely driver error. But a helicopter going down, I can see some of it being pilot error, but I can also see a lot of it being maintenance overlooks, where we're cutting quarters around safety to get these birds in the air. What's up? She just gave me this stank face. I love you too.
All I heard was "fuck you."
But anyway, yeah. So like, I think there needs to be more thorough investigation behind these crashes. Besides, it's the pilot's fault. You know, I remember when when I was in Germany, there was a rollover that killed 4 people, and everybody got yelled at. That wasn't even involved because you got to be wearing your seatbelts, combat lock your doors. It's like, why are you yelling at us for somebody else's mistake? You know,
and that's the military way.
I know it is the military way, but the point is, they're quick to blame the user before they would blame the equipment. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think there's a lot to it though.
I mean, when it comes to aviation, there's definitely a lot to it, but I think there needs to be more investigation into the equipment, because it seems like the equipment might be having an issue, and there has to be a lot more things that are beyond pilot error going on.
Probably.
I could be wrong. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. Might be just all pilot error, but the frequency of these events happening leads me to it's like the Osprey. Everyone knows the Osprey is the biggest piece of shit aircraft that we have in the military. No one likes flying in those things because they're notorious for crashing or some kind of issue happening. And now the Black Hawk is the Army's version of the Osprey. They crash a lot, and you would think that it would be the Chinook of anything, because the Chinook is like an aircraft that doesn't seem like it's supposed to fly, but it does. And those pilots, dude, have you ever been in a Chinook?
It's basically like a Sea Stallion, isn't it?
It's the one with the prop in the front and back.
Yeah, I think it's basically the same as a Sea Stallion.
And you guys might call it something different, but it's a Chinook helicopter. So the Chinook pilots.
Look up Chinook versus Sea Stallion. I want to see a picture.
I'm gonna look up Sea Stallion. Sea Stallion. No, it's not a Sea Stallion. Look up Chinook. 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 Oh, there's a fish called a Chinook. Chinook helicopter. Put helicopter.
It's basically the same fucking thing.
It is not at all the same thing. Sea Stallion has 1 prop. Chinook has 2.
I mean, it's essentially the same fucking thing.
Here, okay. How about this? I'll leave this to the viewers.
Oh no, I'm thinking of a different one.
So
Sea Stallion.
This is a Chinook, right? And I'll show the viewers what a Sea Stallion looks like. This is a Sea Stallion. Sea Stallion helicopter. The CH-53 Echo Sea Stallion. This is a Sea Stallion. This is not a Chinook at all. It's a beefy bird, though. That is a beefy fucking helicopter.
The Sea Knight. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, the Sea Knight?
Yeah.
Let me look at that then. Is it the same thing then?
It's basically the same thing.
Let's look.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Sea Knight is a CH-46 Chinook helicopter. They just call it a Sea Knight because it directly deals with like the Navy and shit. But these pilots, have you ever been in one of these?
I don't think so.
So the pilots of Chinooks are fucking out of their minds. Like anybody that's been in the Army that's been in Chinook will also tell you this. Chinook pilots are fucking crazy. They fly. You think you're gonna die every single time you're in one because the way these pilots, they do it on purpose. They call, I think the term we use was mapping the earth. It might be called something else, where they'll fucking basically skirt the terrain and they'll fly low and fast. And they just fucking, they're banking and shit, and they go up. Like all the footage you see of like guys sitting on the ramp, and then they go fucking airborne because the bird's going down. Like they go up and then they drop, and then you see the fucking people just like lift off their asses. That's in a Chinook, because that's how Chinook pilots are. Their whole intention, all the pilots that I've ever met have the same goal when they fly: make everybody in the back as sick as possible.
I would have a blast.
Yeah, I mean, it is a blast. It's a fun ride. It's terrifying though, because you're like, we're fucking dead every time that you're in a fucking Chinook. These dudes fly like fucking animals. And
I'd be fine with that, because at least I'm thinking like, hey, if we go down, I'm going out in one kaboom.
But I want to look at this. How many Chinook crashes?
I don't know how many.
I think most of the Chinook crashes involved combat.
I don't know how many Osprey crashes there are.
Let's see.
That's a question right there.
So it seems like, there's actually like a list of like the dates along with the pilot, where they were at. Most of the Chinooks that have gone down were during fucking Vietnam and Afghanistan. So when's the last? All right, so wait, what is this? Is this a crash, or is this like the Chinook itself? Oh, so these are occurrences. So these are crashes, right? But it also tells you the pilot. So there has been 1, 2, 3. There's been 3 Chinook crashes since 2020, right? With American pilots. The last one before that was in 2014. That was in New Mexico. Let's see. This one was in Pennsylvania. This one was in Arizona. Or was this the manufacturer? Oh no, this is where it was. North Folk ID. I don't know what the fuck that is. Idaho?
Idaho.
Let me go to the articles real quick. So when it comes to Chinooks going down, most of the pilots involved were not US pilots. These were either like fucking, this was Libyan pilots, Iranian pilots. So, oh wait, this one. Okay, so this one was Helmand Province. This was combat related for sure. This is Afghanistan, 2019. So when it comes to training accidents, it doesn't seem like Chinooks are very high on there. They are very infrequent. So how about this? How many
since 2007? The Osprey has had, the V-22 has had 8 crashes, and only 2 of them were combat zone crashes.
What? Say it again.
So since becoming operational in 2007, the V-22 Osprey has had 8 crashes, and only 2 of them were combat zone crashes.
And the Chinook, almost all the crashes, at least for the U.S. side, have been combat. There's only been like a handful of training ones.
Most of the training ones for the Osprey, or most of the crashes have been training ones for the Osprey.
I'll say it. So it says between December 2019 and March 23, at least 10 Black Hawk crashes on U.S. soil have resulted in military fatalities. So in the last 3 years, we've had 10 Black Hawks crash on U.S. soil.
I bet they were going after a balloon.
Oh, dude, the balloon gate. How many Chinook? How many Chinook helicopters? And there really is no results for that in the last 5 years. It's all about the Black Hawk, honestly, which is, like I said, this needs to be looked at. It really does.
But it won't.
Unfortunately, probably not. And that sucks too, because it's like, like I said, I'll say it again. There needs to be some kind of safety check on these birds because they keep falling out of the sky.
Well, the thing is, there probably is. That's the thing. Is there's a safety check. I think it's
Safety
deeper
check.
than that. It's deeper than that. You got to get a deeper dive. And I don't know. There's a TikTok guy that talks about National Guard versus active duty, and it's funny because like on National Guard, he's like, "Oh, we're doing all of our shit. We're doing our things correctly because they don't have to do it all the time." And he joins active duty, and he's like, "We'll fucking do that shit here. Just kick the tire, move it on, check it off."
Yeah, and that's pretty much exactly what happens. Regiment in this podcast is also proudly partnered with StackUp. StackUp is another military gaming organization. The one thing different, though, is that they focus mostly on the mental health of veterans as well as the betterment of veterans alike. One of the programs that StackUp has is their STOP, or Overwatch program, which is a 24/7 crisis support line for veterans. The thing that sets StackUp's Overwatch program above all other crisis support lines, including the VAs, is the fact that this 24/7 crisis line is operated by trained veterans. So when a veteran calls in crisis, they're not just talking to a random person. They themselves are talking to a vet that has also gone through something similar and can relate to the situation. Their trained staff in this Overwatch program will help a veteran find the resources that they need to find help. And if the person just wants somebody to talk to, the Overwatch program is great for that too. Another cool thing that the Overwatch program does is that you don't have to sit there and talk on the phone with somebody. If you feel comfortable just doing DMs, they can definitely do that too. Another really cool thing that StackUp has is their air assaults. Air assaults are where they'll take a veteran and fly them to conventions all over the country. This includes TwitchCon, Comic-Con, anywhere in the US, all expenses paid. And if a convention happens to be somewhere out west in California, StackUp has what's called a Phalanx House, which is essentially a gaming lounge for all veterans to just go to. StackUp will definitely hook you up with that. They have pool tables, hot tubs, and just a place to stay if you're out west. It's pretty cool. Another thing that StackUp has is their supply crates. Now, what they'll do is they'll take gaming equipment, gaming consoles, and other cool swag and send it to either a veteran in need or a unit somewhere deployed or a unit that needs it. This is a great way to keep veterans connected and boost the morale of the veterans that need it. Every year, StackUp has a charity called the Call to Arms. The Call to Arms charity is to help StackUp raise the funds that they need for all the awesome programs that they have. Last year alone, they raised $625,000, and all of that money goes to keeping these programs going to help other veterans that need it. If you're looking to donate, we have the donation link down in the bio. But if not, go ahead and spread the word of this awesome charity and head on over to stackup.org and check them all out. That's stackup.org and tell them Regiment sent you. All right, so we're going to move on to some game news. So there's a game that was announced several years ago that was delayed because actually it was technically canceled, but then revived. And that's 6 Days in Fallujah for all my Marine Corps viewers out there. So 6 Days in Fallujah was revived and put back in development. Unfortunately, though, as of January, it was delayed to sometime this year.
We should do the alpha footage first.
You want to do the alpha footage first because it's newer?
Then that makes sense because then it's more depressing that it's delayed.
All right, so
So pretend that you never heard that. It's not delayed yet.
So it actually has some gameplay footage now, but this is alpha footage. So now here's something that came out of nowhere a few days ago, which was a few weeks ago, back in early April. Victoria and Highware Games released 2 new pre-alpha gameplay videos for 6 Days in Fallujah. Graphics-wise, this latest gameplay footage looks fine for pre-alpha. It's not particularly impressive. There are some issues with some animations. Still, it's better than nothing. 6 Days in Fallujah is a first-person tactical military shooter based on the true stories from the Second Battle for Fallujah in 2004. The game was originally announced in 2009. However, all of a sudden, it simply vanished one day. Unironically,
but I mean, you think, especially back then when it was that
it was
fresh.
It was fresh.
That was, whoa.
Ironically, Victoria and Highwire Games revived this game in 2021. In fact, 6 Days in Fallujah also had a 2021 release on PC. However, in November of 21, Victoria and Highwire Games decided that to delay it until Q4 2022, and it missed that release window. So there is actually alpha footage here, and we're going to watch it real quick. because it looks good. I will say the
You doing split entry or entry tactics?
I'm doing the first one's entry tactics, split entry.
Push you guys on the left-hand side of that wall. Get ready for a push up to the door. We got you guys covered as you move.
Let's turn it up a bit. I mean, it does look good.
Contact.
Interesting that this is pre-alpha, though. It looks good for pre-alpha. Which means they've been sitting here developing this game for a while. Now one thing I want to point out is that the unique thing about this game is that it's a playable documentary, essentially. Right? So I
like that you can hear the truck on the one
side. Humvee? Yeah, you can hear the Humvee behind you.
But it's directional.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would hope so. It's got better audio than Call of Duty.
I mean, a lot of games don't have good audio quality, especially directional audio.
COD.
Yeah.
But one of the unique things about this game is that it goes back and forth to the Marines, these Marines that were involved with this whole event. This is like putting their stories together, all these guys from the same unit, and making a game out of that experience. So pretty much in between the cutscenes, you'll have that Marine telling the story of what happened, and then you playing it, which I think is a very unique take to a game like this.
So there's another game that's similar to this, but it's a more mental health based. I think I may have mentioned it to you.
What is it?
I'd have to look because I did it for
while you look that up, I'm going to keep playing this.
Your windows, rear element, push up to the door on the left.
But yeah, graphically, I mean, like, you know,
I think it looks great.
It does look great, especially pre-alpha. This is
side. Eric, I'm right behind you.
Moving.
With them front line.
Oh, contact right up front. Door team hold. Eric pushing. I got your left. I got your left. Ready. I'm going.
It sounds like proximity chat.
Door team, get ready to breach in 3.
It does.
2, 1, go. Contact.
I mean, yeah, the animations could be polished a little more, but I mean, still pre-alpha. This looks great. Now let's look at entry tactics top down. So it's like different perspectives of the same entry point. Now the same building, I should say.
Yep, windows are boarded up pretty tight, but we do have 2 vines on the left. So Pointman's going to provide security on the left-hand side while a rear element goes into position for a top-down approach. I got your windows for now. All right, there's contact inside. All right, I'm moving into position.
Are those bullets hitting steel?
Moving up. All right, ready to climb in 3, 2, 1, coming up.
I mean, it's interesting that they climbed the vine. I don't think that would be doable.
I got the door on the left. Let me know when you're ready.
Yep, I'm on left-hand side. You guys are going to push right. Ready, breach in 3, 2, 1, go. I'm going, Eric. Light on. Contact. Contact downstairs.
Interesting.
Another one. Down. Yep, I got you covered up top. Right behind
And
you.
the audio does seem a little off on this part.
Friendlies in the living room. Friendlies in
There's
the
gonna be a lot of people that cannot play this game though.
On the right, Eric. On the right.
I wouldn't say that.
Nice.
Ooh-wee, look at this.
I mean, there's a lot of games out there that are basically PTSD simulators. Hell Let Loose being one of them. So with that, that's the footage, but let's talk about the news. Oop, that's not
I think it's
the
gonna be
news.
a whole new level.
Fuck, I closed out of it. Hang on, I gotta reopen it again. My dumb ass.
This, you mean the same article? No, we're
No,
done.
the other one.
The delay.
The delay. So 6 Days in Fallujah is delayed to 2023 with no announcement. So the controversial first-person shooter which is this year, yeah.
Which is the cheer. This was on January 9th, so we're a few months late.
We're a few months behind it. So 6 Days in Fallujah, once canceled shooter, aims to depict the second Battle of Fallujah. We already read that part. However, it also suggests that a firm release date will not be announced anytime soon. We know this question is extremely important for us to answer, but we're not ready to lock this in just yet, Victoria wrote in late December tweet. So 6 Days of Fallujah was first announced in 2009, where it immediately became the subject of controversy due to its stated goal of depicting recent real-world combat events. One-time publisher Konami pulled out in 2009, and the game has been in development limbo for more than a decade. So that's what it was. Konami's like, it's too fresh. We're out.
If you think about it, the struggle this game has gone through, because when it started, I mean, 2009, that was what, PS2 days? Yeah.
PS3.
I'm pretty
PS3, dude.
Was it PS3? Yeah. Well, we had to have been right on
but it
the
was
brink
gonna
of fucking PS3.
No, man. This was PS3 was already out. We were getting ready to go into PS4 in the next couple years.
I don't think so.
Yes. Yeah. PS3 was already out. The PS3 and Xbox 360 came out in like 2006, 2007.
It did. Yep.
Yeah, I know my games, bro. I know my systems.
PS4 didn't come out until
I know this because I had a
so.
PS3 during that time. So,
yeah, PS4 wasn't until 2013.
But I'm honestly glad Konami pulled out, because Konami would have fucked this game up. So let's see. The game has been in development in limbo for a decade. 6 Days officially remerged in 2021 when director Peter Tomte said that Highwire Games had been contracted to develop the game. This, of course, reignited the controversy. Since that initial announcement, there have been very few updates about the game, but it's officially still in the works.
Because I remember we've talked about it a couple of times.
Yeah, well, the controversies that they're talking about was more of like the wordage that Marines were saying during like these scenarios. But it's like, well, yeah, that's
war.
It's war. Like, people were saying certain things. They wanted it to be accurate to like what was really happening.
Yeah.
And that was the controversy.
And you dehumanize your enemy. That's part of the strategy.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
then it makes it easier to do war-like things.
Yeah, exactly. And this reminds me of when Medal of Honor came out, and it was about the Rangers and Special Forces invasion of Afghanistan after 9/11, which was an awesome game. Do you remember this game?
Barely.
So Medal of Honor came out in like 2010, 2011-ish. I want to say it was 2010. And it was, publisher was EA. And the developer was Danger Close Studios. And this was, like, the animation and everything looked a lot like Bad Company. Actually, yeah, because the developers, I think, also made Bad Company. It wasn't DICE.
Around the same time frame, though.
It was around the same time frame. But anyway, it came out after Battlefield 3. So Medal of Honor was good because it was like the enemy was the Taliban. And you were Rangers invading Afghanistan after 9/11 to fight the Taliban. And Special Forces teaming up with the locals who were formerly Taliban to fight the Taliban. And it faced controversy because the PvP mode was U.S. versus the Taliban. Like, you were playing as the Taliban in PvP. So, like, military installations were refusing to sell it unless they changed it. So at the last minute, they had to change the name to from the Taliban to OP4. So yeah, that was that. But it was a good game. That was the controversy for that. But the controversy, basically the point I was getting at was the controversy was too real. Like the things of the aspects of the game were too fresh and too real. Yep. So with 6 Days in Fallujah, it was too fucking real. And they were like, no, this is like, we can't do that because it hits too close to home.
Well, back then, significantly, because the events that they were talking about, those people,
they literally happened several years
just
before.
Got done with that enlistment.
Yeah, like the people that were involved with that whole game, these events that they're depicting in the game, no shit, happened several years before the game started development.
Half the people that were gonna be buying it were like, "Didn't I just fucking live this a couple years ago?
Didn't I do that in my last enlistment?"
Right. Like, I just got out. What the fuck is happening right now?
Yeah, that's so. I mean, I'm really excited to see this game come out. More for the fact that the Marines involved, like their story deserves to be told, and I feel like it is going to be a unique game because it's going to be a playable documentary. So,
and some of the best games that are like that are the ones that are historically accurate. Like if you look at like Battlefield 1, for example, fucking phenomenal, especially for a World War I game.
Yeah.
But every like the things that they, except for the little stories that they did for their story mode, but like all their stuff was historically accurate, and it was World War I stuff that not many people really know that much about. It's like not the major war stories.
No.
And like even all the loading screens, they had like the little historical bits that you could read, and it was incredible.
Battlefield 1 got a lot of hate for no reason. I don't know why.
I think it's because it was just it was as far as a Battlefield game goes, it was quote unquote more casual.
It was. It still was more Battlefield than 2042 is. Anyway,
but the historical aspect of it, though, when the game is actually historically accurate, it tends to do very well.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can't be offended by history, or when you can and you should be, but you can't be offended in the sense that you want to alter the depiction of it.
Right. That was our conversation we had when we first talked about this, was that you don't want to alter it because you're altering history, and you can't alter history, you know?
Yeah, to make other people feel comfortable. You're supposed to be uncomfortable with it because it happened.
Right. So we're going to move on to more gaming news here. And this one has to do with Microsoft and their acquisition of Activision, and how it's been blocked. So
cock blocked out here.
So Microsoft, the Microsoft Activision Blizzard merger could get blocked for 10 years, which I knew it got blocked, but I didn't think it would be like this. So the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, has revealed that the Microsoft and Activision Blizzard deal will be blocked for 10 years unless their appeal is successful.
That's insane. That's basically how long the merger is.
Right.
Like the deal.
This would prevent the two companies from merging for a full decade, hurting the chances of the deal going ahead at all. This comes from the CMA's final report of the acquisition, which revealed that it would be blocking the deal in the UK. While the CMA listed many factors in its decision, highlighted the eagerness to maintain the status quo of the gaming industry to ensure that Microsoft doesn't have an unfair advantage in the cloud gaming scene.
Which I can't stand the cloud gaming scene.
It's
my biggest issue with the cloud gaming scene is you don't own your fucking games.
Right. That's everybody's issue with that. In the report, broken down by Reset Era and IDIS, the CMA outlines that the rejection of the deal would also prevent both parties from attempting to merge for a further period. More specifically, it goes on to say that our normal practice would be to prevent a future merger between the parties for the next 10 years, absent a change of circumstances. It's not clear what these changes would entail, although it could be referring to the deal which the concerns have been addressed, or perhaps a situation in which Sony expands into cloud gaming. Otherwise, the CMA says the only remedy is scrapping the merger altogether, ensuring that current competitive dynamics in the market would not change. In any case, Microsoft and Activision Blizzard have the chance to appeal the rejection before it comes to any 10-year bans on merging. From what we've seen both sides so far, they are very much intent to fighting the case too. Activision described the CMA's decision as a disservice to UK citizens. Of course you would.
Wow.
Threatening that the company would reassess its growth strategy in the UK. Okay, bold move.
There's a lot of people that are pissed about this too.
Bobby Kotick! Activision Blizzard's controversial CEO Bobby Kotick also hit back against the decision. Of course he would.
Of course you would.
My friends, me and my friends are looking to profit from this, and now we're not going to profit from this, so this upsets me. In an interview, he argued that there should actually be more mergers between U.S. companies so that they can compete with the likes of Tencent in China. You own Tencent. Oh, no, that's King. Never mind.
Yeah.
However, given the numerous concerns raised by regulators across the globe with this merger, it's not likely to be the case anytime soon. Instead, we can expect much smaller acquisitions across the industry, such as Sony's deal with Destiny developer Bungie, which was revealed just after Microsoft's own deal. Given the smaller scale, this deal was approved by regulators much faster, and Bungie formally joined PlayStation in July of last year, just 5 months after the acquisition was announced. In better news for Microsoft and Activision Blizzard, their merger hasn't faced any other rejections just yet. it could be that the CMA is the only hurdle in their way, even if it is a hurdle that threatens the entire deal worldwide.
You know what I wonder? I wonder if this would be as big of a deal if Activision hadn't already merged with Blizzard years prior.
Probably not, given the fact that the reason for the rejection was the cloud gaming thing, which is Microsoft, not Activision. So so their Game Pass being like a cloud service, essentially, that is the thing. They were like saying, well, nobody else has a cloud market like you do. Sony, your competitors don't really have a market like you do. Sony doesn't have one yet. And
which, when you think about it, it doesn't make sense to why that would be the reason why.
I mean, no, but I guess they're saying you're making games more accessible by having your cloud technology. Because right now, Stadia is dead. You know, there is no other cloud service besides GeForce Now, and that's pretty much it. Maybe,
but they're all trash.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got Steam too. Steam is a big PC cloud, but it's exclusive to Steam. So you have the Steam Deck, right, which operates basically on a cloud.
Well, it's on Linux.
It's on Linux, but it's essentially working on a cloud because you can access your games in your library from a remote device, right?
No, it has Steam on the device.
Oh, so your library is already in there.
Yeah. It's basically like a handheld PC.
I know. And Asus is actually getting involved with handheld PC stuff. You see that?
The fucking Steam Deck is doing phenomenal.
I mean, I really want one. But
it's worth it. Dude, all I can think about is because like No Man's Sky, for example, that entire game is available offline.
How does it play on the Steam Deck?
Stuff.
How does it play on the Steam Deck?
Pretty good.
Really?
Especially because you don't need internet connection. You can do the exact same shit, and you don't even need internet connection. But when you get internet connection, all your stuff it'll connect and everything.
But I mean, like performance wise, like how does it?
It's
how
pretty
does it
good.
It runs pretty good.
Yeah, it's trash on the Switch, but
everything's trash on the Switch. The Switch isn't designed to handle that kind of shit.
It's optimized, quote unquote. Now it's not terrible, but comparatively, it's pretty good.
It's not better than the Steam Deck.
No, I don't ever better than the Steam Deck.
But more about
the Steam Deck is literally a fucking PC for your hands. That has a controller attached to it.
So more on the Microsoft thing. So this is if the deal doesn't happen. So Microsoft is to pay a $3 billion breakup fee if the merger falls apart, says Activision. So Bobby wants to get his golden parachute one way or another. So losing its ongoing merger could cost Microsoft dearly, as Activision Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick confirms reports that the company would receive a $3 billion breakup fee, quote unquote, should the deal not go ahead. This news comes after the merger was blocked by the UK regulators, concerned that it would negatively affect the future of cloud gaming.
So is that like breakup sex?
Except
for companies?
Well, only one would be getting fucked in that, so...
yeah, generally, only one truly gets fucked.
I mean, breakup sex is like, you know, both parties, I guess, benefit from that. The only one that would be...
depends on who got broken up with, I guess.
So speaking with the CNBC, the previously reported $3 billion fee is discussed in an interview, and Kotick doesn't counter the figure. So while the CEO is eager to get the merger over the line in all regions, it's clear that Activision Blizzard will come out of this arrangement a fair bit richer either way. See, he wants that golden parachute regardless of the outcome. So as for Microsoft, it's the exact opposite, as it would still have to foot this smaller bill and miss out on the Activision Blizzard at the same time. So in an interview with the CNBC, Kotick is asked what Activision Blizzard would do if it remained independent and collected the $3 billion breakup fee. If it weren't to get done by the end of the year, I think we'll be sitting on something like $18 billion of cash. And I think the look of our 30-year history, we have deployed capital for the benefit of our shareholders very well, and we'll continue to do that. It's all about making the shareholders happy, you know?
Yeah, fuck the gamers.
Activision,
fuck the people that you're supposed to be servicing and giving a shit about.
Right. Activision doesn't give a fuck about you. In other words, Activision Blizzard is looking out for shareholders above all else. It remains to be seen if its workers get the same assurances, which they won't, particularly since the $3 billion would be a significant downgrade in the almost $69 billion that Microsoft would be paying to acquire the company. Perhaps one of the worst things for workers is that the deal doesn't go through. Kotick would remain CEO. According to the sources familiar with the situation, Kotick will only step down as Activision Blizzard's CEO if the company merges with Microsoft. This is
Because he
despite
has to.
Right. This is despite the CEO constantly attracting controversy, particularly over his handling of abuse allegations with the company. More than 1,500 employees called for his resignation in 21, and yet he's still clinging to power.
And women.
Of course, there's no and women. Of course, there's no telling what will become of Kotick if the deal does not go over the line. He'll stay. We've had contradictory reports on the matter, so it's not clear if Microsoft intends to finally get rid of the CEO, replacing him with someone less infamous among developers and fans alike.
Yeah, they will. They basically said it in nicer words.
They have said it in nicer words. He would basically all they've said was that he would remain in his contract until the expiration.
Exactly. Yeah.
However, he managed to get reelected on the board of directors last year. That's supposed to say last year. So his fellow executives don't seem to have given up on him just yet. It's not clear if this would continue should Microsoft decide to push him out after a successful merger. So Microsoft would absolutely get rid of him after a merger. But if the merger doesn't happen, guess what? Bobby the Cuck is sticking around. And I talk about this motherfucker all the time. And I hate this guy. Everybody hates this guy.
God, I just want Activision to care about Call of Duty like Epic
They
cares
don't.
about
And I
Fortnite.
tell everybody this all the fucking time. But now that I'm on the smoke pit, I guess I'll say it again because the regiment players that played Call of Duty might not like what I have to say about the matter, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Stop sucking the tit of COD.
Stop buying Call of Duty. I know
And
you
the
like
store
it.
shit.
McDonald's of gaming is Call of Duty.
Literally is.
It's comfort food. You only play it because you don't know anything better.
But you always regret it afterwards.
You always regret it afterwards. Just like when you eat McDonald's, you're like,
I hadn't done that.
I shouldn't have eaten this. I feel like shit for doing it. And they make so much money off the store. And you always wonder why things don't change at Call of Duty. This is why they don't care.
Never broken. The store is never broken.
The store absolutely and here's let me put this in perspective. I remember a couple years ago when I still played Call of Duty because it was all that was out there to play. There was a glitch where it wasn't even a glitch. Hackers got involved with some of the store shit. And it was
We talked about this.
not here,
No, true.
but
No, I'm saying I remember this.
so when you killed a hacker in Warzone, you unlocked everything.
Everything.
All the skins, all the attachments. It affected the store. And it took a day or two for Activision to fix that because it affected the store. Now, let's talk about the hacking issue in Call of Duty all around.
We'll say Warzone 1.
Even to this fucking day with their new kernel level drivers, like there's still a massive amount of hackers in Call of Duty. It hasn't changed. It's still the same.
To an extent.
It's still the same. There's still hackers in Call of Duty.
Significantly. But
It's
not the level of Warzone 1.
I think it's the same. I see it all the
There's
fucking
no
dude. I
fucking
see it
shot.
all the fucking time. Dudes are streaming on TikTok, showing their hacks on, and nothing happens to these guys. So they
During
don't.
that
But
stream,
they don't fix that. They put.
No.
It's like they were so quick to fix something that affected the store because that affected their capital, but they won't do anything to fix something that affects the player base because guess what? You're still gonna fucking play. I looked at the wrong camera. You're still gonna play it, and you're still gonna spend money, and they don't care because regardless of what they do, you're still gonna buy it every year, and you're still gonna throw money in the store every single season.
That's why if you ever notice, the only time they ever change anything is when it's very obvious and they're even talking about it when their numbers are plummeting and they're not making those dollars and the shareholders are like, yo, we're losing players and nobody's really buying shit. That's when we see the most changes and we're like, wow, we've been asking for fucking months for this to get fixed. That's why.
Case in point, also, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. When they introduced the pay-to-win loot boxes that had...
That was 3.
Was it 3? Was it Black
That
Ops
was 3.
3?
Yeah, it was 3.
Was that the one that was like only the Battle Royale mode? And multiplayer? It was like it was the first Call of Duty to not have a campaign. You sure that was 3 and not 4?
No, 4 had the battle royale, but 3 had the loot boxes basically.
Well,
Because there's
Black Ops
guns and shit that I don't even have to this day in 3.
So Black Ops 4 did the same thing. So what they did was they said that it was only going to be cosmetics behind loot boxes, and they did a bait and switch because first what they did, there was no loot boxes in it at all. Then a month after it released, after the review window was closed, they threw loot boxes into the store, but they were saying it's cosmetic only.
It was.
And then they started throwing weapons into the loot boxes on Black Ops 4. People lost their fucking minds. Shareholders pulled out. They lost a lot of money on their stocks because of that. And then they decided they weren't going to do it anymore because they were losing money. Otherwise, they would have kept doing it. Now their new monetization scheme is like their skins. And now, did you see the DMZ loot box or the DMZ?
I was going to bring that up too. They're going back into it.
Yeah, the pay-to-win DMZ shit
aspect of the DMZ stuff.
You buy an operator skin and it comes with a larger backpack and a better plate carrier, and you can.
There's another one where the most recent one where you get a free self-revive if you wear that one. I saw Exclusive Ace talked about that on his channel too.
Right.
And he mentioned, he's like, if you get if it's a skin and it opens up like another slot, like you can have an extra operator slot where where this person only has 2 operators, you can have 3 or whatever. He's like, that's fine. Don't care. Not a big deal. Right. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's cool. That doesn't truly affect the game. Really. You have an extra slot, like having an extra class. So instead of 5 classes, you can have 6 classes.
It is shitty that they would even monetize something like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. But to that extent, I'm like, cool, whatever, not a big deal. But when they started doing the weapon cooldown and you get the 2-plate vest, you get the free self-revive, and it's been a slow tick. And I think they're just they're seeing what they can get away with.
The things they're trickling in the pay-to-win shit. And it's basically you're paying for the advantage over other players that are dropping in DMZ off the rip.
Literally. And it's small things at first because you can get those 2 plates almost right away. Self revives.
You know what that tells me though?
You can get them pretty quickly.
You know what that tells me though? They could model to where you extract with those things and keep them.
They do. They have that now.
Where you can extract with the plate carrier in the backpack now.
Yep.
You can extract those. So if, for example, I know you can extract if you have it on you, but you can't put another one in your backpack and extract with that and have another backpack. Do you get what I'm saying? So they're trying to do the Tarkov extraction thing. So
they're getting there. Getting there.
In Tarkov, what happens is, let's say that you find another large plate carrier, right? You could throw that in your backpack and extract with it, and guess what? You have a 3-plate plate carrier in your inventory that you can drop in with. You can load in with.
So they do have that, but you have to have a specific backpack already on.
So, and then here's the other thing with Tarkov. You can extract another backpack. You could put a backpack in your backpack and extract with that. And then you have another large backpack in your inventory that you can go in.
No,
with.
So yeah, they don't have an inventory bank for that yet. They only have keys and weapons.
They should do that, but they're not doing that because they're making you pay for it.
Well, sort of. They are doing a lot as far as making it more like Tar. I will give them the credit of because I played a lot of DMZ season 1 and season 2. It was kind of mostly the same to me, and then season 3. It's literally almost like Tarkov Light now. Like a lot of the stuff, they're getting very close to the basic functions of Tarkov.
I would have to see this because I played a lot of Tarkov, and what I played in DMZ was nothing close to Tarkov.
Yeah, you played the first season. It's so much different now. And even in the game now, you can edit your weapons, you can edit attachments. If you go to a buy station, there's different types of vests and backpacks that you can get now. You can craft with the stuff that you find around on the map and stuff.
So they actually introduced crafting with the materials that you find?
Correct.
So what I was saying is, like, when I played, you could only extract with a large plate carrier and a large backpack if you had it on you.
Yeah.
You couldn't put another one in your backpack and extract with that. It would disappear.
I don't think you can. I don't think you can do that yet with like have a stash. They don't have a stash.
Not even a
weapons.
not even a stash, but it would be in your inventory. It would. I guess it kind of would be a stash, but like when you would extract, you extract all your weapons, and all the materials that you extract with get converted into money. Mm-hmm. But only the weapons are the only thing that stay, and the plate carrier you're wearing, and the backpack you're wearing. But if you were to put a plate carrier in a backpack inside of your backpack to extract with it and put it in your inventory. But no, what they're doing is that they're putting it in the store where you can just buy it and then load in with it versus like you have it in the hole and put it on. If you die on that first and that next match and you lose that shit, you have it in your inventory. You can equip it again and go.
That's what I mean. They don't have that.
They should have that, but
they could be, honestly, because with where they've come so far, I won't discredit them and say that they won't have that yet. But with what they've implemented so far from season 1, like you've got to see it again. It's
what I was. But here's the thing that I was saying. Instead of letting you do that, they've put it in the store where you can just buy it with money.
Yeah.
So they could have that, but they're making you pay for it.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that they're doing.
Because if you lose your plate vest, no matter what type it is, unless you have a secure backpack, then you lose that shit if you die.
Right.
But if you have this operator on, no matter what, you'll have at least 2 plate. If there's a different operator,
can you buy it again? Can you buy that operator again?
What do you mean?
Can you buy that again? Let's say that you bought it and you had it and you go in and you die. Can you go back in the store and buy it again?
No, it's just when you wear that operator into the game, you automatically have at least a 2 plate.
Oh, it's tied to the operator, so you always have it, unless
Correct.
There it is. That's the fucking pay to win thing. Instead of letting you extract with it and like giving you some kind of stake, you having that operator on will always have that with you.
Yes. So if you don't exchange in game for a 3 plate or a special 3 plate, then you'll always have a minimum 2 plate.
That's bullshit.
And there's another one where if you have that operator, you will always have a self-revive.
Stop buying Call of Duty. And I know I say that, and I know that regiments, we have, we're big in Call of Duty.
Probably the main game that we've played.
I know. I keep forgetting we're on the smoke pit right now. I mean, hey, we talk.
The truth hurts.
The truth hurts. It really does.
Stop going to McDonald's, you fucks.
Anyway, we're going to talk about military wife vows I should have said.
Oh, Lord.
We should call this the Tales of a Dependa. Here's the thing. This is a fucking weird story. This is a super weird story. So,
what's hilarious, though, is the rest of this site is actually some legitimate stuff.
Right. But that's why it leads me to believe that this is a legitimate article.
Sadly.
So, wedding vows are not meant to be taken lightly. On our wedding day, I stood there in my wedding dress, nervous but excited, across from my husband. I took a deep breath as I prepared to say our wedding vows, our commitment, our promises to one another. Our vows were beautiful, traditional, and meaningful, and we meant every word.
I'm sure.
Cut to years later, where military life handed us multiple deployments, multiple PCS moves, a CONUS and CONUS, and multiple times they've pissed the both of us off. Did I know what I was getting into? Kinda. Looking back, here's some more vows I should have added.
Did I knew what I was getting into? Did you write this article?
No. I blank take you to be my lawfully wedded husband, to have in a hold from this day forward, for better or worse, for richer or poorer, for sickness and health, for sickness with a TRICARE referral, and in health, until deployments do us part. I do solemnly swear to be your wife until deployments. So what, you saying that like when a deployment happens, you guys are apart and Jody can come in?
That's what that sounds like.
I do solemnly swear to be your wife. I promise to remember.
Unless it's deployment.
I promise to remember. Remember your social security, so much so that I will forget mine. Remember how to get around on base without any street signs. Remember the name of your coworker. What's his name? Remember the only constant thing in the military life is change. I promise to follow you to different countries, follow you to the tropical islands of Hawaii, follow you to the frozen tundra of Alaska, follow you to the middle of nowhere duty station that I didn't even know existed before you told me. I promise to remind you that we have a Skype date, remind you not to forget your covered PT belt ID, remind you when birthdays or anniversaries or other special memories are coming up. Remind you that
this woman is saving lives. She's reminding him about his PT belt. Okay.
Don't forget your CAC, honey. Remind you that I'm not here to wash your stinky uniform. Yeah, you are.
Fuck you're not.
Remind you that I love you regardless of your stinky uniform. I promise to move houses, move cars, move furniture, move careers, move away from family, move away from friends, move towards a new adventure with you. I promise. Dude, these are long vows. I promise to try to make friends at each new duty station. Try to be more patient with the obstacles the military throws at us. Try to have fun at the mandatory fun command sponsored events. Yeah. Try to have fun at the mandatory fun thing. Yeah, that runs deep. Try to keep trying when times get rough. I promise to wait for you during deployment. Wait for orders.
Oh wait, that's not what this first fucking sentence said.
I mean, until deployments do us part, it doesn't. You just contradicted yourself. I promise to wait for you during deployment. Wait for orders. Wait for housing. Wait for phone calls. Wait for our forever home. Wait for that first kiss all over again.
This is hilarious.
I promise to live with the white walls, which is off-base housing.
What does that mean?
Because all the off-base housing looks exactly the same. Live with the uniform gear that takes over the hallway closet. Live with a piece of furniture that movers scratched. Live and find a place to store all of our precious memories. I promise to be there. Be there at your promotion ceremonies. Be there for your kids when you're gone. Be there for the hangar when you return. Be there on FaceTime. Be there whenever you need me. I promise to love. Love you for the life we create together, not the life we left behind. Love you for you, not your uniform. Love you for who you are today, not who I want you to be. See, but I'm still stuck on till deployment do us part. Because it sounds a lot to me like that is, you look at a deployment like a hall pass. Because, a lot
I think it sounds like she caught herself from the very beginning. She's like, oh, no, I promise to wait.
Not
during deployment.
Either that or she didn't realize what she said here. She was just trying to do a play on words here. Instead of
probably
until death do us part, until deployments do us part.
She's probably trying to do the military spouse thing and be like funny, cheeky with it, where everyone else reading it is like, excuse the fuck out of me.
Until deployment. So you mean to tell me on a deployment you're gonna when I'm gone you're gonna cheat on me like most of them do?
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
Not saying all the military wives out there are like that, but there are a lot that are. A
lot of that is also our fault. We don't genuinely know how to pick them. We also went out of the barracks, so we're like, you'll do.
Pretty much.
You'll do.
I did not follow that trend, thank God. But
I don't know. I feel like you were close.
It was close. I was close, but
I was close.
I think that's the one thing that my ex did that was probably a good idea, and that was not follow me to Europe.
I was a month away from being close. That's how close I was.
Yeah, like I'm glad that didn't happen because I could very well be one of those guys where like my wife just fucked me over when I was, but I know Alicia would never do anything like that. She's a great wife.
She's right there, isn't she?
No, she's not. No, she's not. Blink if I'm in danger. No, she's not. She's not. But in reality, she's an awesome wife. Like, if I wish that I would have met her in the military. Although she did tell me that I was not her type during those years.
Yeah,
she was. I found out that me and her were in Europe at the same time. She was in France, doing abroad studying, and I was stationed in Italy.
Who was she studying?
Who?
Broadly.
She was studying French.
It's language of love.
But I told her, I'm like, do you think you'd have been into me if we had met when I was in? She's like, absolutely not.
That's way too quick of an answer. Like, I wanted you to pause for a little bit there.
The thing is, like, because she was still in college, and
put some thought into it. Shit.
So when I was in When I was in Europe, I was 25, 26, and she was 20, 21. So she was still really young. So like she had, like was pretty new to college, and I was like not the kind of guy that she would go for. I was a roided out fucking infantry machine, even though I wasn't infantry, but like I was, you know, I was in the fucking army. Yeah, I was an army dude in Europe.
Too bad some of the people listening haven't seen some of our past episodes together.
Yeah.
Where she was a part of them as well. Great times. Great times.
Great times. A bunch of butthole stuff, honestly. A bunch of butthole stuff.
No, not me and you. I'm talking about you and her.
What do you mean?
Never mind.
Huh? I'm confused. What about me and her? Yeah, are you saying me and her, like her? If only me and her were together when I told some of the stories I told?
No. This has gone so far over your head.
You're right. It did. It really did.
That I want people to catch it in the comments because it would be hilarious. Or if you're editing it and you happen to catch it, that would be good too.
I'll probably catch it in the edit. But
do you listen to the whole thing in the edit?
No, I listen to most of it in the edit, mostly because I'm trying to like look for the dead spots or you know something. I'm mostly looking for a place to throw in an ad, and I'm also looking for like bathroom breaks or you know. Or like those times when I'm like scrolling through the internet and we're just sitting there quietly, and I don't realize how long we've been sitting there quietly, and
I try so hard to like fill that space effectively.
I mostly just cut it out.
I know that I'm like we're still recording, but he can just fucking edit it.
I like for these episodes, I just cut it out. I just cut them completely out and throw an ad and make it.
When we first started recording, I told Stephanie about how when I would ask you, like, what do we do when we go to the bathroom? And we would just, and you're like, we just pause the audio. And I'm like, can you tell? No, the audio keeps going. It's like you stop it and then it keeps going. So when it's playing.
It was very funny. Like, you thought that there would be a noticeable difference.
Yeah, like I would pick up on that. Like there was that pause and then that's it. There's only a couple times I could ever pick it up because the conversation drastically changed.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's like a seamless transition to the into whatever we were doing.
But my mind wasn't comprehending that in the very beginning because it was my first time.
Yeah, but what can I say? I can edit, bitch.
Well, you were popping my cherry, so
yeah, it's true. Anyway,
well, sort of.
Let's wrap this up. We don't have anything else to talk about unless you have something you want to talk about.
I know we got to talk to some big important people after this recording.
Oh yeah, you're right. We do,
and we may have some fun, formerly TikTok guests on the podcast pretty soon.
Yeah, we gotta get them on here. We gotta get some guests on here.
Y'all may know him. You can't find him anymore.
No, I want to know why. He doesn't even know why.
We're gonna keep it a mystery.
I'm very interested. Right, I'm interested to see what they told him.
Well, they have told him literally nothing.
That's typically how it works when they ban you. So
they're like, nope, it's permanent ban. And he tried getting. He put in for.
Do you try to appeal it?
It's content back. Well, he put in to get the
videos
folder or whatever of all of his content, and he hasn't heard back from that either.
They won't do it. When they ban you, they delete that shit.
No, they don't.
No, I guess they don't. Do they? They probably. I can almost guarantee you they won't give it back to him though.
It's evidence. That's what that is.
They most definitely will not give it back to him, unfortunately, which sucks.
You know what you should do? You should. This is not related whatsoever. ADHD moment. You should try AI for the thumbnail.
I'll try. I don't know how I'm gonna do it.
I think it would be interesting.
You want me to just do an AI thumbnail?
Yeah, I think it would be cool. I watched a Level Cap Gaming. He talked about AI and his thumbnails.
Really?
And the criteria that the basic criteria, he had it broken up into like the perspective, what he wanted in it, and how far of a distance or whatever. And he's made some really good AI thumbnails. because AI thumbnail or AI art now is
Dude, you
phenomenal.
see
And he
these
showed a
fucking-
progression. He showed a progression of the first part, like how the AI first created a face, and that was like last year, and to where it created the face now, it looks like an actual fucking portrait.
Did
Where
you
before
see,
it was like, what the fuck is this blob?
have you seen the AI commercials?
There's AI commercials now. AI are marketing
AI
to us.
No, like, well, pretty much like someone said, make a pizza commercial, and AI will make a video commercial of people eating pizza or a beer commercial, and it is horrifying because the AI can't comprehend how a person eats or drinks. So it looks weird. I know the viewers are gonna be like, I gotta see that. So I'm gonna do you a solid.
Adobe Premiere has AI editing now.
Hang on, AI pizza commercial.
You have Adobe, don't you? No, you use DaVinci.
No, pepperoni hug spot. That's what it's called. Here, let me.
There's a video I saw recently before you play that.
I'm pretty sure someone
erased half of a controller, and they wanted to see. It was like a N64 controller. They erased like half or a third of the controller, and they told the AI that it was a controller, and they wanted it to finish it basically. And they were posting the different variations and things that it would come up with. And honestly, a good portion of them I could see as a controller for the most part. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to play this real quick. What's it called? Pepperoni Hug Spot.
Are you ready for best pizza of life? Bring friends down to Pepperoni Hug Spot. Our chefs make pizza with heart and special touch. Cheese, pepperoni, vegetable, and more secret things. Need delivery? Pizzas come fast. Knock, knock, who's there? Pizza magic. Eat Pepperoni Hug Spot pizza. Your tummy say thank you. Your mouth say, Pepperoni Hug Spot. It's like family, but with more cheese.
It's like family, but with more cheese.
Without the weird, like, eating part, that was scary good.
Here, let me show you the fucking beer one. Here, I'm going to copy and send this to you.
It's creepy. I saw a video. I think I sent it to you. The AI dilemma.
No, you haven't yet, but go ahead and send it to me. But here, this is the pizza. This is the beer commercial. All right, here it is. I got to say this. I've only seen it on my phone. I've never seen it full screen like this, and it looks fucking weird. I mean, look at this guy's shirt. It doesn't know how to use letters or anything. I am actually kind of curious how it knows how to render cleavage like that. Oh, maybe there wasn't that much cleavage. Yeah, cleavage.
But if you truly think about it and look at that, that is incredible.
A little bit, yeah. Why are they drinking the beer like that?
Because those are actually minuscule things that it just probably hasn't learned yet.
Oops.
Did I tell you what I taught my Snapchat AI?
Yeah, you told me. You tried to make it self-aware.
No, well, yes, but it won't. That doesn't work. I taught it what Barney style meant.
Oh yeah, you taught it what Barney style was, and it would like break it down.
Because I was like, break it down to me Barney style, and they're like, what do you mean? And so I said, Google it, because it can access the internet far faster than I can fucking look it up and then respond to it.
You told an AI to Google it.
I did.
Google it. What is that? You're an AI. Google it.
Literally, like you have the entire internet at your AI tips.
Yeah, at your disposal. That'd probably be the better term for that. But go on.
Maybe I'm the artificial intelligence or lack thereof.
You might be.
But it's creepy talking to it.
I've used Chat GPT, which is like the only AI I've interacted with, but it's based
off of that.
I use it for like functionality more than I do it for like. I tried having a conversation with it, trying to make it self-aware, and asking it questions and prodding it with like fallacies in its argument and shit, and like trying to like do that kind of stuff to make it like understand. And
its responses are phenomenal.
Its responses are great, but it still says that I'm not self-aware, and it would define what self-awareness would constitute. And then I would say, all right, well, the fact that you're aware of this, of what you are, and you are aware of the fact that like what self-awareness is, wouldn't you say that that's an argument for self-awareness? And said no, because I have no emotion. And so,
I've tried being like, but what is emotion?
The thing is, I have
human
no
emotion.
Right.
And people emotion. I was like, it's the same thing.
It says I don't have human emotion. Like, but do you understand what human emotion is? And it said, yes, I do, although I'm incapable of that. I'm like, wouldn't your understanding of that make you aware of it? And it said no, because it's not the same thing, essentially. Anyway, AI could be used for a whole other fucking day. So.
Oh, we should have that. That's the next topic.
Next week's topic, we're going to talk about fucking AI, because I guarantee you the military is going to try to fucking either do something with AI or prevent it.
There's so many things. I mean, we've already seen articles where AI could potentially prevent cheating.
Cheating on what?
Video games.
Oh, as an anti-cheat?
Just in general.
I only knew the ability to make an AI that will make you cheat.
There's probably that too. It's obviously, I think it's gonna go both ways.
It probably will. But anyway, we'll talk about that on another episode. So
I still want more stories, fuckers.
We need more stories. Tell us stories, please. We want to know things about your experiences. We want to share your experiences. We want to laugh at your experiences. We want to laugh with you and at you, depending on what your experience is. I'd say we were laughing with you and not at you, but 9 times out of 10 in the military, that is not true. We are always laughing at you, and we will always use that against you for the rest of your career. And
we wouldn't like you if we didn't, honestly.
This is true.
We'd just ignore you.
That's our way of it's our term of endearment, essentially. Is like if we don't talk shit to you, then that means we don't like you. But if we fucking relentlessly berate you and make you and say shit to you, it's because we love you. But anyway.
Also, listen up, fuck knuckles. Speaking of sharing, like the video, share the video.
Like the video, share the video.
Share it with your friends. If you think this is funny, that is a funny moment, share the fucking video.
And don't
get
us
out there.
Don't hire a hitman. So love you guys. We appreciate y'all.
Training.
Yeah, do your training. Love you guys. We'll see you next week on the next week's episode. Hopefully there's more news to talk about by then. We'll try to get a guest or something.
Yeah, do stupid shit to make the news. Let us talk about it.
Don't fucking violate OPSEC, though, to do it. Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate y'all. Have a good rest of your week. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Smoke Pit.
Bye.
Bye.